First, for people who may not be familiar with your organization, what is the Anti-Defamation League and what type of work do you guys do?
So we are basically a civil rights organization. We were started more than 100 years ago with two main goals: to fight anti-Semitism and to secure equal and fair treatment for all, equal justice and fair treatment for all. So we work with advocacy groups to further the advancement of anti-hate legislation and guidelines for people. We work in the education community, providing online resources for teachers, downloadable lesson plans, books for parents, all kinds of community outreach. And then we investigate incidents and we report on them. So for more than 40 years, we've been tracking and reporting on incidents of hate. And these could be physical incidents, such as like an assault or vandalism, or online types of things. And in this particular case, we put together a report on white supremacy propaganda.
The report has said that there's been a rise in white supremacist propaganda, but let's start with what that actually is. What is considered white supremacist propaganda?
So I think most people know what white supremacy groups are. They hate on people for any character, many times for any characteristic other than being white. When you talk about the propaganda piece of it, you're talking about sometimes a small group of people who are really putting out flyers and online communications to elevate their status and make them seem bigger, but also to recruit for members to join their institution, to join their groups. These are really people who are interested in promoting hate, promoting white nationalism, and there are a lot of different groups. They distribute a lot of material across the United States. This is not only a Michigan problem, this is a US problem, this is a world problem.
Has the material been overtly racist, or is it a little harder to identify or distinguish when it comes to what people are actually posting or flyering?
I'm really glad you asked that question. One of the things, let's talk about who they're trying to recruit. They're trying to recruit white males between the ages of 18 to 28 years old, sort of disenfranchised people that want to feel part of quote unquote a brotherhood. So they're targeting people that would be looking for a way to connect. That's one thing. So they often look on college campuses or adjacent to college campuses, often are not a member of the university. They come from outside the university, go onto the university campus, or stand on a corner very close to just across the street from a university campus. So they're targeting specific people. Sometimes it's subliminal and sometimes it's right out there. Groups like Patriot Front, for example, they put out flyers that are red, white, and blue. They can be anything from sort of nuanced to very, very assaultive. Like one of the things that they might put out are a flyer that says, "Are you tired of justifying your whiteness?" Or they might say, they target for fearful things like losing your job, shroud themselves in sort of this patriotic thing, like they're trying to protect people. And it's really, it can be very, very insidious. And one of the things they do is, for example, they drop banners from overpasses that look all American, look like they're red, white, and blue, but they really contain a very insidious and ugly message. At ADL, we don't believe in censorship. We are a civil rights organization. We believe in First Amendment rights, but we believe also the best way to counteract hate speech is by anti-hate speech, speaking up to it, standing up to it. So we do have the HEAT map. HEAT stands for hate, extremism, anti-Semitism, and terrorism. It's an online interactive tool. It's updated regularly. You can go to adl.org, type in HEAT map into the search bar. This map of the United States comes up. You can hover over any particular state. If you hover in the center of the state of Michigan, it shows a little white box pops up and it shows all the incidents that happened in the state.
If someone who has encountered this propaganda or an incident like this, what can they do to help inform their own community members? And what can they also do if they are interested in the work that the ADL is doing and would like to support the organization?
Thank you for that. Go to adl.org. We have a tremendous amount of information. And so on the ADL website, we have different resources for parents who have very young kids, parents who have tweens, like middle school kids, and parents who have high school age kids. Conversations on how you talk to your brother-in-law or your sister-in-law or your best friend's cousin about this. It's not hard to stand up to this kind of thing, but it is uncomfortable. And so by arming yourself with the best tools, getting the talking points, understanding the real facts, a real fact of somebody being targeted because of who they are or what they are or who they love, those are targeted domestic violence actions. And so really important to kind of understand the issue, name it, and then report.
You can find more at onedetroitpbs.org or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.